I just have to say that every time we would go to the movies when we were young, in our teens and early 20s, that's what we saw before the movie started. And we loved it. Let me put that so I can hear it. We loved it so much. It was tack 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 doodle-doodle-doodle tack 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 tack. It was so great. All right. On to the feature presentation, as it said. Hey everybody, old Roger D here on Channel Donstar with another commentary track on a small, tiny little Super 8 film I made back with some friends back in the early 80s. If I'm not mistaken, it might be 80, 81? I'm not really sure on that altogether, but this was a big project. This was a film that we really, my friends, myself, and I, Terrence O'Donnell, and Robert Arlt really wanted to be really great, and with the help of Perry Flores, who's in like just about everything I ever do, Joe Delaney, who was a very good friend of Perry's at the time, and is still, we're all really kind of cool. We don't talk to each other much, all of us. We don't really talk to each other much. But back when we were youngins and in high school or just getting out of high school, we, old Roger D here had a basement that everybody would go down to, and it was fixed up nice, and it had posters all over the place of George Romero films and things like Magic and John Carpenter films and Star Wars stuff. Everything was all around, and I had shelves all over the place with model kits, Planet of the Apes, Lost in Space, all Munsters, giant bug models, all kind of crazy stuff. The Pirates of the Caribbean, the what were those called? The monstrous models, where you had the Doctor and Vampirella and the torture scenes. I think they were called torture scenes. And you had a hanging cage and a pendulum, I had all that crap down there. I'll probably show some pictures. But right around that time, we were all just hanging around, and we had did we? Well, I was in college in 82. I might have the dates a little weird, freaked out. This might have been after People Canners, which I did earlier. The link will be up here somewhere. Go watch that movie and commentary. And then I believe my friend Terry had this idea, and he wanted to do a, Road Warrior, apocalyptic type movie. After a war, everything was blown to shit, and so we set out, and we went to what do they call those places? Military survival stores, service stores, and we got like military jackets and some props and things like that, and we set out, I believe, was it 1 weekend, 2 weekends, maybe 2 weekends. And because we were all in school or something like that, so we could only shoot on the weekends. We went out and shot this movie called Scout. And I love it. I think it's one of my favorite films that I made on Super 8 back in the day. And visually, stylistically, just character, the costuming, the mood of the thing, and then we shot it, and it was near the end. It was right near the end, and for some reason, which I cannot remember, maybe Terry will write down below if this is on YouTube or on Facebook. Will write down and say why we stopped filming. But I'm just thinking we just kind of got, we're not going to do it anymore, or they went to college. Terry and Rob went to college, and we just never finished it. But we had a storyline. I believe Terry came up with the entire thing. But we had a storyline of how it was going to end. And when we watch this movie and when I talk over it, we'll talk about that ending. And it's pretty much just in text right now. But what we did actually shoot, I thought was probably one of the best things I ever shot. Because I was the cameraman at the time. There's quite a few little bloopers at the very end that I put in. And it wasn't until like around 2008, 2009, maybe 2010, that I got the film transferred digitally to a DVD. And then I transferred it to my computer and I edited it the best I could, the way I thought it was all going to be. Because there was very limited footage, but I wanted it to be very cool and artistic and interesting to watch. And I added music from a movie called Apocalyptic, which was Mel Gibson's movie about the Mayans. And I threw that music over it, and it really just came together, and it was really cool. And that's what we're going to watch right now, and that's what I'm going to give you my commentary on. Visually, the film will be up here in a little box. If you want to see the full film, full screen, just go back a few videos, well, quite a few videos, my home video playlist, and you'll see the full movie as a full screen. But right now we're just doing a commentary like I did with People Canners. Hopefully we'll just do this once, not like People Canners, which I believe I did. I played 3 times and talked through it because it's such a short movie. This one is about 20 minutes long, and I hope you like it. So let's get on with it. Let's just do it. And I'm gonna be wearing headphones, and I'm gonna be talking, hopefully not super loud. And I need the glasses to see, of course. And welcome everybody to the commentary track of Scout. Here we go. Here we go. Opening scroll. The film Scout was filmed during a few hot summer weekends in 1980 from an original idea by Terrence O'Donnell and shot by Roger B. Domian. Both had set out to purchase props, find unique locations, and cast the film's unique main character, Robert Arlt. Sadly, the film never completed its final scene due to problems with a Super 8mm sound camera we were using. A ripple effect appeared in the audio, as you can hear in the opening scene. Recently, I have painstakingly remastered the audio and picture to the best it could be done by adding new soundtracks, a music track, and such. Sadly, the film was never completed. Here we go. This was filmed in a prairie, like a block away from my house. It was train tracks, and it was a prairie. It was just a big abandoned area.
Yeah. Probably dead by now.
Robert Arlt is doing the whittling. I can't think of the last name, but Andy something was playing the main guy. Apparently, these guys sent out scouts to find food, find survivors.
Well, glad to see it my way. Hey, doing the goddamn game. So, he and Drake probably
And Rob is just such a cocky fuck, man. He's just like, I don't know, I could do everything I want. I could do it. Send me out there. I'll do whatever you want. Or I'd be Donstar, of course. Terry and Rob came up with the idea for a Blue Snake production. Scout. I always felt this opening music and scene sounded very John Carpenter-ish, which is what I wanted. A film by Roger Bedomian and Terrence O'Donnell. Terry, my buddy, who's a military man right now. This was shot very, jeez. This was on our way to school. We would follow this path and we would pass these train tracks. And there was this weird little small area where it was like a hill and you can go up and there was a fence and the train tracks. And right across from where we're filming is like a busy street. There were cars just going by. This was like an abandoned factory area. We filmed this one Saturday morning, real early Saturday morning, so we couldn't get traffic or noise or anybody around there. But these were all abandoned buildings, and they were around 47th and Kedzie, if I'm not mistaken. And that building was like demolished. And I remember driving to work. I worked at this photo place called Solar at the time. I remember driving by one weekend and go, oh my God, they destroyed this place. What a beautiful location. Let's shoot there. That's me on the left. That's Terry on the right. As just some rabid scavengers. That's my butt. And we're trying to hide food that we will look for later. I don't know why we wanted to hide food. I don't know. That building right across from us, across from the demolition, was like a hooker building. It was like a strip club on 47th and Kedzie, I believe, in Chicagoland. There's Rob just spying on us, hiding the food, which he will go eventually and steal. And we were just, I mean, this location was just like, it was all rubble. We could have died there. We could have, when we're up at the top there, we could have fallen right down below and gotten buried if things didn't hold still, if they just collapsed. But it just looks so fucking cool. Look at that. There's Rob as the scavenger guy, as the scout. Me and Terry leaving our food there, and here he comes. He's gonna go take it. This was my first time using sound film. Now this was, again, this was all very exact to where everything was. There was this big barren area out there. There was all these empty factories, and right in front was this big giant group of rubble. And I love this shot because it rises up and it looks like there was like a bomb that went off. It kind of looked like it was all a burned out area, like something was there. But in the background you see the buildings, in the foreground you see all this rubble. Really, really just cool. Just cool. All those outfits. Peaches.
All right.
We only had one can, but the way I edited this, it looked like he had 3 cans. Or 2 cans, and then the bottle of Ripple.
What the hell? Them guys got pretty damn good.
Bad audio there, but best I could do. Best Doc could do. Rob Large helped me with the audio on this. But that outfit he's wearing is what we found at the surplus store, and then makeup, blackface on his arms to make him look dirty, and Vaseline to make him look very sweaty. And that was the first scene. And then here is some interesting little dissolves I created when I put this thing together, because we had all these shots and I didn't know what to do with them. So I just kind of let me put them together and dissolve the hot sun, dissolve him walking behind himself, and add this cool music, and it's beautiful. I think it's fucking beautiful. Just a guy out all alone, not knowing what he's going to do, trying to survive. And there comes my buddy Perry Flores, who's a big bike fanatic. He loves his bikes. And we made him a dirt bike guy that's like a scavenger on his own. And he attacks Rob. And if you look closely on the right side there of the road, there's a body. And there was supposed to be a shot of Rob, the scout, coming up to this body. There it is, right there. You can see it. And seeing it, and it was like this motorcycle guy just ran him over or something and stole his stuff, which is basically what the whole concept of this is. And we just did these. That was a real stunt by Perry, who fell off his bike as Rob hit him with the bag full of peaches. Makes sense if he had more than one can of peaches, which is why I edited it that way. Some interesting little quick editing here that I was trying to do to make it all fit. As we were filming this, I was thinking in my mind how it was all going to be edited, and it really worked out pretty well once I got this transferred. Here he stabs him with the machete, and I fade out as Rob walks away just before a car zooms by, because that wasn't a main street, but it was an open road where anybody could ride by, and I fade out and the car zooms by. And Rob gets away. This was shot in the same area as that opening scene where the train tracks were, and then we cut to in the middle of the forest. We went to some forest preserve, and we walked for maybe 10 minutes, and we found this clearing. We're like, oh, perfect, let's film this. This is great. There's Perry in the red shirt. That's Joe Delaney in the army shirt. And they're just having their little conversation. This was just going to be a group of guys that the scout comes upon and kills and robs for food and whatever else he can find. Here he comes. So this was all done like in the middle of this clearing in a forest preserve around Westchester, I believe. Yeah, and we just shot all this stuff. There's a really cool shot where Perry, the guy in the red shirt, gets killed, and he's laying there, and he's supposed to have this hole in his head from Rob shooting him. And when I did the makeup, he had ants crawling, because the red was like Caro syrup with red food coloring. Here Joe's holding his hand like that, and he has like a palm full of blood, and he hits himself to make it look like he was shot. But Perry had ants crawling on his head. In this shot right here, he had like ants. You'll see it in the end credits. He's like, oh fuck, because they were crawling on him. And here's Rob, our Indiana Jones, as it will, finding out that there are more than just two scavengers, and there's another guy, and again, this is another Andy guy that I can't think of his name. That comes across, he's like, he hears the shots, he comes over, and Rob tries to shoot him, and he's looking to duck, and of course, if you look, he's got like a shot on his shoulder. And Rob hit him, but didn't kill him, and he gets away. And Rob runs off empty-handed, because he was kind of chased away by that guy. And then as we go on, here we are just off First Avenue. First Avenue and I can't think of where. Ogden Avenue and First Avenue. There's this, it isn't a dam, but it's a water refinery or something. And we thought, oh, this would be a cool thing for him to come across. It looks barren. There's nobody around. There it is right there. And then very close to that area, we found the very same forest that we filmed in by the clearing. Him just walking by. We just wanted shots of him walking by, filling up his canteen, sitting by a tree, and eating beef jerky, whatever he was able to find. Excuse me. And then the end of the movie was supposed to happen. And for some freaking reason, we never shot the final scene. The irony of the scene is he's got these cans of peaches. He doesn't have a can opener. Here he's trying to open it with a rock. But he can't do it. And he resorts to eating the beef jerky, whatever he has in survivor mode. And as the final scrawl says, the guy that survived his shooting in that little camp area where Perry and Joe got shot, those two guys, he comes back. Look I love that shot. I love that frickin' shot. Yeah. Anyway, he comes back while our scout is asleep and stabs him with the can opener. The scout, frustrated that there was no way to open the can of peaches, cracks open that pint of Southern comfort and slowly falls into a drunken sleep. Awakened by a sharp pain in his chest, the scout suddenly finds that he is being speared by the scavenger he wounded in the woods. He screams in agony as the spear is pushed in further. Reaching to his side, the scout pulls up his gun and shoots the scavenger in the side of his head. The scavenger falls to the ground as the scout slowly, painfully pulls out the spear. In his dying moments, the scout finds out that the spear was in fact a flattened can opener. Here are the outtakes. When there was film left in the camera, I just decided to film, hey, let's just use the film up. Let me shoot you guys behind the scenes. There's the ants crawling on his face. We were actually pulled over by the cops because somebody saw us with a gun, and they called the cops. And at this point, where I show Perry going like that, there were like 5 squad cars that just ran in and pulled off. There's Terry, our writer. And the gun that we had was just like a plastic model kit of a gun that we put together. There we go. Unused footage. There you go. And that's Scout. There you go, everybody. Special thanks to Doc. And I saw this group of tires, and I said, Rob, sit down, drink from your canteen. It's real hot. And I shot him, and I couldn't put it in the movie anywhere. I just threw it right there. So there you go, everybody. That is Scout. I think I covered everything. I don't think we need to do another commentary. Yeah, other than me speeding through that crawl, I don't think there's anything I need to talk about. Yeah, it was really a cool little 8mm, Super 8mm film that I really wish we shot that final scene. I actually wrote a longer version of the thing, and it was after we shot this stuff, and there was this whole section where our scout Rob comes across like an abandoned car or a car wreck place where there's all these destroyed vehicles piled on top of each other, and like a wreck place, and how he meets a girl, and he kind of creates a relationship with her, and then all these scavengers just come in and try to fight him, and there's these fight scenes, and there's a few gunshot scenes, and they both get killed. I don't know if I even still have that written down somewhere. I might have deleted it, gotten rid of it. But I had that idea that was going to be the end of the movie. But the way it was originally done was supposed to be him getting stabbed by a spear made out of a can opener. And as Terry wrote it, originally conceived it, it was the irony that he couldn't get to the food because he didn't have a can opener, but he dies because somebody stabs him with a can opener. Again, just to reflect, I love what I see. I love what I was able to put together out of all the footage that we shot, that to try to make a linear sense of the whole thing. And like I kind of tell my buddy Taddeo Garcia, who's a pretty fantastic director. We did Download together, and he just completed another film, and we're hoping to get me and him, our other film going, our children's film going. I think this is one of my favorite things I ever shot. One of the best things I ever shot. Just visually. Just the way it all looks, the way the locations looked. And I have to thank, even though it was wrong to use, but the soundtrack, and forgive me for not saying who composed the music, but the soundtrack, little bits that I threw in there once I edited it all together of the movie Apocalypto. So anyway, there's Scout. This is just some content for my channel. This is my little commentary track on our little Super 8 movie that we did called Scout. And there you have it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you appreciate it, knowing now how it was all put together. And we'll see you in the next video. Whether, who knows, what other things I can pull out of my hat and find in my extensive Rolodex of videos. thanks for watching, everybody. Check out my next video and check out my game channel if you like GTA, because I'm doing a lot of drunken gameplays on there. And those are just fun to watch because I'm just like babbling like an idiot. He's babbling like an idiot, sir. Yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Terrence O'Donnell, and Robert Arlt really wanted to be really great. And with the help of Perry Flores, who's in like just about everything I ever do, and a childhood friend from... Wow, did you see that? My foot hit the camera tripod. We almost lost it. Hold on. That's pretty damn funny. That's pretty damn funny. All right. I gotta watch my feet. I can't do that because the tripod's like right there. Oh, bloopers. Freaking bad. Oh, what an ass I am. Here we go. Oh, fuck. It's amazing I did that. Alright. Oh crap. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And it's still recording. Oh, fucking feet. Feet are big ass feet. They knock things over. Okay, here we go.